What if the sensitivity you've been told is your greatest weakness is actually the doorway to your most extraordinary power? Stay with me, because what ancient wisdom traditions and modern depth psychology have discovered about empaths will completely rewrite everything you thought you knew about your own nature. You see, most people move through life collecting experiences, but empaths don't just collect experiences, they absorb them, they carry them, they are forever changed by them. And that's not a malfunction. According to Carl Jung, that's a calling. There are 5 spiritual pillars that every empath must unlock in this lifetime. Not because someone told them to, but because their soul will give them no choice. And once you understand what these pillars are, you'll finally understand why your life has unfolded exactly the way it has. Here's what most people will never understand about you. You don't just see the world, you read it. Carl Jung described what he called the feeling function, a mode of consciousness that processes reality not through logic alone, but through meaning, resonance, and energetic truth. Most people have this function buried beneath layers of conditioning, but in empaths it operates at full capacity all the time. This is why you walk into a room and instantly know something is wrong before a single word is spoken. This is why you can look into someone's eyes and sense the story they're hiding behind their smile. This is why you've always felt somehow that you perceive a dimension of reality others seem completely blind to. And you're right, you do. But here's what Jung understood that most people miss entirely. Sacred perception is not a passive gift, it's a responsibility. The empath who hasn't unlocked this first pillar uses their perception unconsciously, absorbing everything, filtering nothing, drowning in other people's emotional weather. But the empath who consciously claims this gift transforms it into something else entirely. Discernment, clarity, unshakable inner knowing. You stop taking in everything indiscriminately. You start choosing what deserves your attention. Your perception becomes not a wound but a weapon of truth. Stay with me here, because this is where it gets profound. Every empath has a breaking point in their story. A betrayal, a loss, a moment where the cruelty of the world hit them so directly, so personally, that something inside them shattered. Most people look at that moment as the worst thing that ever happened to them. Jung saw it differently. He called it the conjunctio, the sacred collision between opposites that creates something entirely new. The alchemists of old believed that gold was not found in nature. It was made, forged through a process of dissolution and reconstruction. Your pain is not an accident, it is the furnace. What the second pillar demands is this: that you stop treating your wounds as evidence of your weakness and start recognizing them as the very source of your depth. Every empath who has been betrayed has been given something no book, no teacher, no spiritual retreat could ever provide: a direct initiation into the truth of human darkness. And here's what makes this terrifying for those who try to manipulate you. Once you've alchemized your pain, once you've walked through that fire and emerged not destroyed but distilled, you carry within you a knowledge that cannot be faked, cannot be bought, and absolutely cannot be used against you again. You know what darkness looks like, you survived it, and now it holds no power over you. Here's the moment most empaths spend their entire lives avoiding, and it's the one that changes everything. Carl Jung taught that within every human psyche lives a shadow, the repository of everything we've denied, suppressed, and refused to acknowledge about ourselves. For empaths, this shadow often contains something deeply unexpected, not cruelty, not selfishness, but power. Think about that for a moment. The empath who has spent a lifetime giving, accommodating, understanding, and forgiving has very often buried their capacity for boundaries, for anger, for the sacred word no. They've been told directly or indirectly that these things make them difficult, unkind, unspiritual. Jung knew otherwise. He understood that the most spiritually advanced individuals are not those who have eliminated their darkness, but those who have looked it directly in the face and integrated it. Who have said, This capacity for boundaries is mine. This anger at injustice is mine. This power to walk away is mine. The third pillar is the integration of the shadow. And for empaths, it is nothing less than a spiritual revolution. Because the moment you stop outsourcing your power, the moment you stop waiting for someone else to recognize your worth, validate your boundaries, or give you permission to protect yourself, something shifts at the cellular level. You stop being a vessel that others fill with their dysfunction. You become a sovereign being who chooses, consciously and deliberately, what enters their world. And nothing, absolutely nothing, is more threatening to a manipulator than an empath who has reclaimed their shadow. What comes next will redefine the way you understand yourself. In a world that glorifies constant connection, the empath is often made to feel that their need for solitude is a flaw, a sign of social failure, an inability to cope. But ancient wisdom traditions, from Taoism to the Desert Fathers to the Jungian tradition of active imagination, all point to the same truth. Solitude is not absence, it is presence in its purest form. The fourth pillar is the mastery of solitude, and it's the one that separates the empath, who is always depleted, from the empath who has become inexhaustible. Because here's what happens when you stop filling every silence with noise, every empty hour with obligation, every moment of aloneness with the frantic need to be needed. You hear yourself. For the first time, perhaps in years, you hear what you actually think, what you actually feel, what you actually want. Not what others have projected onto you, not the emotional residue of every person you've absorbed that week. Your own signal, clear and unmistakable, rising through the silence. Jung called this the process of active imagination, the ability to enter into dialogue with the deepest parts of oneself. And for the empath, it is not a luxury. It is oxygen. It is the practice through which you discharge what is not yours, reconnect with what is, and return to the world not emptied, but full. The empath who has mastered solitude cannot be drained, because they know how to return to the source. And now we arrive at the final pillar, the one that brings everything together, the one that is both the destination and the beginning. Most people misunderstand what empaths are here to do. They think empaths are here to save others, to heal others, to pour themselves endlessly into the broken places of the world until there is nothing left. But Jung understood something far more radical. He taught that the highest expression of love is not self-sacrifice. It is conscious relationship, the kind of love that comes not from need or compulsion or the desperate desire to fix, but from genuine wholeness, reaching out to genuine wholeness. The fifth pillar is the embodiment of conscious love, and it requires everything the first four pillars have built. The sacred perception to see people clearly, not as you wish they were. The alchemized pain that has taught you what love is not. The integrated shadow that gives you the courage to love without losing yourself. The mastery of solitude that ensures you never love from emptiness again. When an empath embodies conscious love, something extraordinary happens. They stop attracting what needs to consume them and begin drawing toward them what is capable of meeting them. They stop being a rescue mission and become a relationship. They stop disappearing into others and remain fully and unapologetically themselves. This is what Jung called the individuated heart. Not closed, not cold, not defended, but so deeply rooted in its own truth that it can open completely without being swept away. These 5 pillars are not a program. They are not a checklist, they are an unfolding, and the journey through them is rarely linear, rarely comfortable, and never without cost. But Jung said something that every empath needs to hear, perhaps more than anything else. He said that the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. Not who your pain made you, not who your betrayers defined you as, not who the world needed you to be. Who you are, at the deepest, most undeniable level of your being. That is the journey of the awakened empath. And once it begins, there is no going back, only forward, into the extraordinary, irreversible wholeness of your own becoming.